My people, gist day oh. And this one day scatter the whole of Instagram, Twitter and Facebook right now. E be like say this Sonia and Maurice matter never finish, and I get the full package for una, but before I unpack what I have for you, turn on the notification bell, subscribe and share the video. Alright, let's unpack what I have for you guys. OMG guys, do you really know Maurice Sam shocked his fans few days ago? Yes he did. Okay, let me tell you more about what happened and don't skip any part of the video if you need full gist. Maurice has always been that guy in Nollywood who makes hearts melt without even trying. You know the type, smooth talker, charming smile, the kind of man who can make you believe in love just by staring into the camera. For years, he has played romantic roles so convincingly that fans forgot he was acting. They started to believe that maybe, just maybe, some of that romance was real. And when it came to his partnership with Sonia Uch, the chemistry was so electric that people stopped seeing them as co-stars and started seeing them as something more. But recently, something happened that nobody saw coming. Maurice broke down in tears, and it wasn't part of any script. This was raw, unfiltered emotion that left everyone stunned and scrambling for answers. Sonia Uch, on the other hand, has always been the bold one. She doesn't play games, and she doesn't wait for permission to make moves. When she decided to take a certain stand recently, it sent shockwaves through the industry. Nobody knows exactly what she said or did, but whatever it was big enough to get people talking. Some say it was a professional boundary she set. Others whisper that it was something deeply personal. Either way, Sonia didn't back down, and she didn't apologize. She stood her ground like a woman who knew exactly what she was doing, even if the rest of the world was left guessing. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Not too long ago, Yul Ediki came out and warned Nollywood stars to be careful. He said that fans have a way of creating narratives that aren't real, and when actors allow those fantasies to take over, it can destroy real friendships and mess with people's lives. He was speaking from experience, of course, because Yul himself has been through the ringer when it comes to public opinion. But his warning seemed almost prophetic because shortly after, this whole Maurice and Sonia situation exploded. Could it be that Sonia's bold move was her way of shutting down those fan-made fantasies before they spiraled even further out of control? For years, fans have been obsessed with the idea of Maurice and Sonia being a real-life couple. Every time they appeared in a movie together, social media would go crazy. People would analyze every glance, every touch, every smile. They would post clips with captions like, "Look at the way he looks at her," or "You can't fake this kind of chemistry." And honestly, who could blame them? Maurice and Sonia knew how to sell a romance. They made people believe in love again, even if it was just on screen. But when Sonia made her recent decision, it felt like she had pulled the rug out from under all those hopeful fans. It was like she was saying, "Stop dreaming. This isn't what you think it is." The silence between Maurice and Sonia has always been part of their appeal. They never confirmed anything, never denied anything. They just let the rumors swirl and the speculation grow. And honestly, that silence kept people hooked. It was like a game of cat and mouse, and fans loved every second of it. But Sonia's recent action may have finally cracked that mysterious wall. For the first time, it felt like someone was giving a clear answer, even if that answer was delivered through action rather than words. And if Sonia was sending a message, then Maurice's tears might have been his response. The on-screen magic between these two is undeniable. Every scene they share feels real, feels charged with something that goes beyond acting. When they look at each other, you feel it. When they argue, you feel the tension. When they make up, you feel the relief. It's the kind of chemistry that can't be taught or rehearsed. It just exists. But now that Maurice has cried publicly, people are wondering if all that chemistry was more than just professional skill. Was there something real behind those performances? Were Maurice and Sonia acting, or were they living out their emotions on screen? And if there was something real, does Sonia's decision mean it's over? Nollywood producers are smart. They know what sells, and they know how to create hype. For years, they have been pairing Maurice and Sonia in movie after movie, knowing full well that fans would eat it up. Every new project featuring the two of them was guaranteed to trend. People would watch just to see them together again. It was good for business, and everyone knew it. But now, some are starting to wonder if Sonia's bold move was her way of breaking free from that cycle. Maybe she was tired of being packaged and sold as one half of a fantasy couple. Maybe she wanted to be seen as her own person, not just as Maurice's on-screen lover. Behind the curtain of every Nollywood production, there are secrets. Things that fans never see, conversations that never make it to social media, moments that stay locked away in the minds of those who were there. Rumors are now flying that Sonia's decision may have revealed something that was supposed to stay hidden. Maybe it was about a real relationship that existed but was never meant to go public. Maybe it was about feelings that were never supposed to be acknowledged. Or maybe it was about setting boundaries that Maurice didn't expect to be set. Whatever the truth is, it's clear that Sonia's move has opened a door that was supposed to stay closed. Social media exploded the moment Maurice's tears hit the internet. Within hours, the video had been shared thousands of times. Fans were in shock. Some said he looked heartbroken, like a man who had just lost something precious. Others said it was all just drama, a publicity stunt designed to keep people talking. Theories started flying. Was he crying because Sonia rejected him? Was he crying because a friendship had been damaged? Was he crying because he felt betrayed? Or was he just overwhelmed by the pressure of being in the public eye? Nobody knew for sure, but everyone had an opinion. What makes this whole situation even more fascinating is that Maurice didn't explain himself. He cried, yes, but he didn't give a reason. He didn't post a long caption or do a live video to clarify things. He just let the tears speak for themselves. And in Nollywood, silence is powerful. Sometimes saying nothing creates more buzz than saying everything. By refusing to explain, Maurice has turned himself into a mystery. People are now more curious than ever. They want to know what hurt him, who hurt him, and whether Sonia is somehow at the center of it all. Marriage whispers have started circulating, and they're adding another layer to this already complicated story. Some fans are now speculating that Sonia might be getting ready to settle down with someone else entirely. Maybe she's been quietly seeing someone, and her recent decision was about protecting that relationship. If that's the case, then it would make sense why Maurice seemed so emotional. Watching someone you care about move on, especially when the world has been linking you together for years, can't be easy. Even if their relationship was only professional, the loss of that connection might still hurt. Maurice's image has always been one of strength and confidence. He's the lover boy, the charmer, the guy who always has it together. But seeing him cry has changed that. Suddenly, he's vulnerable. He's human. He's someone who can be hurt. And while some fans find this new side of him relatable and endearing, others are confused. They don't know how to reconcile the strong, confident Maurice they've always known with this emotional, tearful version. It's a total image twist, and it's forcing people to see him in a completely different light. Sonia, meanwhile, is being praised and criticized at the same time. Some people admire her courage. They see her as a woman who knows her worth and isn't afraid to set boundaries, no matter who gets upset. They respect her for not letting fan fantasies dictate her real life. But others blame her. They say she caused Maurice's breakdown. They say she was cruel or insensitive. They wonder why she couldn't have handled things more privately or more gently. The truth is, nobody really knows what happened between them, so everyone is filling in the blanks with their own assumptions. Nollywood is a pressure cooker. Every day, stars are expected to be perfect, to look good, to post content, to stay relevant. Every move they make is scrutinized. Every relationship is analyzed. Every tear is turned into a headline. In that kind of environment, even the smallest action can become breaking news. And when something as dramatic as Maurice crying and Sonia making a bold move happens, the entire industry sits up and pays attention. It's not just gossip anymore. It's a cultural moment. The biggest question hanging over this entire situation is whether Maurice and Sonia will ever address it directly. Will they sit down and explain what really happened? Will they clear the air and put the rumors to rest? Or will they continue to stay silent, letting the mystery grow and the speculation continue? In Nollywood, silence often works better than confession. It keeps people interested. It keeps the conversation going. And as long as people are talking, the stars stay relevant. So maybe, just maybe, the silence is intentional. Maybe Maurice and Sonia know exactly what they are doing. Fans are feeling a strange mix of emotions right now. On one hand, they are heartbroken because the fantasy they believed in seems to be crumbling. On the other hand, they are fascinated because real-life drama is always more compelling than any script. They want answers, but they also don't want the story to end. It's a complicated relationship that fans have with their favorite stars. They want to know everything, but they also want to keep dreaming. And right now, they are caught somewhere in between. What makes this situation so captivating is that it's unpredictable. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Will Maurice speak out? Will Sonia say something? Will they work together again? Will they avoid each other? Will the truth ever come out? Every day feels like a new chapter in a never-ending story, and people can't look away. They're glued to their screens, refreshing their feeds, waiting for the next update. The entertainment industry thrives on moments like this. It's not just about movies anymore. It's about the lives of the people who make those movies. Fans don't just want to watch their favorite stars on screen. They want to know who they are dating, what they are thinking, where they are going. They want access to every part of their lives. And when something dramatic happens, it becomes content. It becomes a story that everyone wants to follow. Maurice and Sonia's situation has also sparked larger conversations about boundaries in the entertainment industry. Should actors be expected to play along with fan fantasies? Should they be allowed to have private lives, or is everything fair game once you become famous? These are questions that don't have easy answers, but they are worth asking. Because at the end of the day, Maurice and Sonia are real people with real feelings, not just characters in a movie. The emotional weight of being constantly watched and judged can be overwhelming. Every decision you make is dissected. Every relationship is questioned. Every tear is turned into content. And while fame comes with perks, it also comes with pressure. Maurice's tears might have been a breaking point, a moment where the weight of it all became too much. Or they might have been about something specific, something personal that had nothing to do with the public at all. But because he's famous, even his pain becomes entertainment. Sonia's boldness, whether it was personal or professional, has made her a lightning rod for opinion. Some see her as a hero, a woman who refuses to be boxed in by other people's expectations. Others see her as the villain, the person who broke Maurice's heart. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, more complicated and nuanced than any headline could capture. But nuance doesn't get clicks. Drama does. So the story gets simplified, the characters get labeled, and the truth gets buried under layers of speculation. What happens next will determine how this story is remembered. If Maurice and Sonia reconcile, whatever that means, it could become a story of friendship overcoming adversity. If they continue to stay apart, it could become a cautionary tale about the dangers of mixing professional chemistry with personal feelings. If they never address it at all, it will remain a mystery, a piece of Nollywood folklore that people talk about for years to come. One thing is certain, this situation has reminded everyone just how powerful celebrity culture is. A single tear can spark 1,000 conversations. A single decision can shift the narrative. And as long as people are watching, the show will go on. Maurice and Sonia are at the center of that show right now, whether they want to be or not. And until they decide to step off the stage or change the script, the world will keep watching, keep guessing, and keep talking. The drama, the mystery, the tears, the silence, it all adds up to a story that's far more compelling than any movie. Because this time, it's real. Or at least, it feels real. And in the world of entertainment, sometimes the feeling is all that matters. Maurice cried. Sonia stood her ground. And everyone else is left wondering what it all means. The fire is still burning, and nobody knows when or if it will ever go out. If you have watched till the point, don't forget to share, like and comment. Love you all and stay in touch for the next gist news. Bye bye.